It's Derby Day at Epsom on Saturday, and a number of top-class colts will be going to post. We have got Bloodstock reporter Catherine Fiddler here with us to analyse the pedigrees and the likely running performance of the horses as a result. Now, the big question, Catherine, that's been dominating recently is, will Dawn Approach, the hot favourite, stay the trip? What does his pedigree say?
On pedigree, it's not guaranteed by any means. Very interesting angle to this year's Derby. He's by New Approach, Derby winner himself. But on the dam line, there is quite a strong speed influence.
Now, his dam's by a stallion called Phone Trick, who everyone's bad-mouthing. What's wrong with Phone Trick?
Nothing's wrong with Phone Trick. He just, isn't found in the pedigree of many Derby winners. He was a very good sprinter himself, set the track record at Hollywood Park, later broke the track record at Hollywood Park. But he has sired a lot of sprinters, including Golden Shaheen winner Caller 1. He did have two Breeders' Cup juvenile winners who won over 1 mile half a furlong, Phone Chatter and Favourite Trick. They later went on to win at around the 9 furlong mark. But looking at the dam, she was on place 6 to 8 furlongs. She did have an ongoing injury that hampered that. But in the immediate dam line, it's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick. So we look at the pedigree, we're maybe getting a bit concerned. And we move on to the equinome system, which is obviously like it's a gene-based stamina detection method, for want of a better term. I'm sure you can explain it better than me. And this horse has a bad equinome system.
Perhaps not ideal when it comes to the Derby. The equinome system, it looks at the gene that relates directly to muscle type, whether they think they'll be better over sprint trips, better over stamina trips. He has the CC gene, which suggests a lot of speed. In a study by Dr. Emmeline Hill, director of Equinome, it showed that CC types are best from 5 furlongs to 1 mile. He's certainly proved he's very good over that so far. But in a study of 179 group enlisted winners categorised as CC, less than 5% were best beyond a mile, and none performed very well beyond 1 mile 3 furlongs. So from that aspect, it is going to be a bit of a concern.
He's going to have to be a freak, basically.
He's going to have to defy that genetic test.
Great stuff. Now, another sort of study you can use, apart from just looking at the pedigree, is his dosage profile, which again is another method of looking through a horse's pedigree and coming to a conclusion. And again, it's not necessarily perfect for a Derby runner.
It's not perfect, but it's more positive than the equinome. The dosage profile leads to the dosage index, which is a mathematical figure, just gives a figure to a horse. The lower the figure, generally the stronger the stamina. Higher figure would suggest more speed. Dawn Approach has a figure of 1.67. Now, the last 3 Derby winners have had a figure of 1 or below, but interestingly, See the Stars had a figure of 3.
And he was a very good horse.
He was a very, very good horse. We also have Guineas winner Entrepreneur, 1.67. So Dawn Approach would suggest he has greater stamina than that. We also have Dubai World Cup winner Dubai Millennium. He had a figure of 2.56. So Dawn Approach's figure would suggest he's going to stay further than those.
Excellent. So there's Dawn Approach pretty much covered. We'll see what Catherine thinks of his chances at the end. We're going to move on to an interesting one from France now, which is Okavango, who's by the big monster of a stallion, which is Monson.
Yeah.
What does his pedigree say?
Okavango, like him a lot. He's from a very good Watership Down family, 4th generation product. The dam Crystal Maze was unraced due to injury, but John Gosden, her trainer, thought a lot of her. And they sent her to Monson specifically to put more stamina in the family. So he's, very well bred. Crystal Maze is out of Top Miler Crystal Music, and it's also the family of Lancashire Oaks winner State Crystal.
So it's a really nice pedigree, which people over here could be quite familiar with, really.
Absolutely, and with a bit of rain around the Monson side, it's going to help. Lovely
stuff. Now let's move on to the battalions from Ballydoyle. Aidan O'Brien and his millions of Galileos. Let's run through them all. I mean, let's just start quickly with Galileo. He is ridiculously good as a stallion, isn't he?
He is absolutely outstanding. 4-time champion sire now. First British Raj stallion to break the 1 million mark this year already. We're only in May. But he's by Sadler's Wells. He's by Northern Dancer. Excellent sire line.
So is he going to have a Derby winner?
He could well. He's got 5 in there, you'd hope.
Let's have a quick look through them then.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Mars. He's bred on the Galileo Danehill Cross. Just a lot of winners, including Frankel. Interestingly, he's out of a 6 furlong listed winner though, so similar profile to Dawn Approach, quite a lot of speed on the family. The Dam is also a half-sister to Invincible Spirit and Kodiak. So the question is, is he going to prove too quick? We've got Flying the Flag by Galileo out of a very classy mare Halfway to Heaven. Won the Nassau Stakes, the Sun Chariot and the Irish 1000 Guineas. Again, she's out of a top sprinter though, Cassandra Go, which would suggest that if you've got a sprinting dam, doesn't rule you out of top middle distance contests. Then we're going to Battle of Marengo. He's bred on the same cross as was last year's Oaks winner by Galileo out of a Green Desert mare. He does have a sister who is best over a mile, Precious Stone, but both the dam and the dam's half-sister won black type races around 10 furlongs. There aren't too many winners over the Derby trip in the pedigree, but he hasn't shaped like he won't stay.
Battle of Marengo and Joseph O'Brien will land the odds. Battle of Marengo gives Aidan O'Brien his 7th win in the Dernestown.
As we go through these, a lot of these are Galileo with quick families on the bottom end of things. Is this the sort of combination we want around Epsom?
It is. Epsom, it's the ultimate race, isn't it? And you need both. You need stamina and speed and bucket loads. It's having the stamina to cope with the undulations, get round Tattenham Corner, and then switch on the afterburners and have that speed to kick to the finish.
They know what they're doing, these breeder chaps.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Coolmore, certainly, they know how to breed a good middle distance horse and a Derby winner. So
let's just finish off their runners. We've got 3 more Coolmore runners to go through.
Yep, we've got Magician, another by Galileo. He's an interesting case. He clearly relished a step up and trip in the D Stakes, but then stepped back in outstanding fashion to win the Guineas last weekend. He's from the family of top milers Henry the Navigator, Listen and Sequoia. But again, looking at Chester, I don't think he'll have an issue staying.
Magician and Joseph O'Brien win by 4 lengths. Chased home, Gale Force 10 trading leather.
Then we come to Rule of the World, another by Galileo. He's from an excellent family, half-brother to Duke of Marmalade. He's also bred on the Galileo King Mambo Nick. That's an interesting one. From 9 runners on that cross, 8 have won, all at middle distances and beyond, including the hurdlers Coram and Galileo Figaro.
Oh, there is plenty of stamina in that one.
Plenty of stamina, yeah. It's also the family of AP Indian Lemon Drop Kid, so excellent family.
And then we've got the one outlier from the O'Brien lot, but he is by the Derby Stallion.
He is the Derby Stallion Monsieur. From 20 runners, he's had 4 winners. Excellent strike rate, basically 1 in 5. He's out of a half-sister to the Guineas winner, Speciosa. So again, a good family. Also from the family of Arlington Million winner, Major Rhythm. So not without a chance. I mean, he's not the most favoured of the he's not the most favoured of the Ballydoyle runners, but in previous years they've not done too badly.
Yes, indeed. Now, 2 more to look at. Firstly, I'm going to ask you about Britain's best of our beleaguered challenge, which is Libertarian, again by New Approach.
Yeah, he's by New Approach, and of the 2 on pedigree, you'd say he might just get the edge over Dawn Approach. And on performance-wise, he's already proven he can tackle a middle distance. And then
lastly, the German raider Chopin, who's by Santiago. But the question is, who's Santiago?
Who's Santiago? Santiago won group races over 8 and 9 furlongs. So good mile middle distance horse himself. Chopin's from his first crop, so we're yet to see really what he can do. But it's obviously very promising in his runs to date, and he's from a family of stayers. His dam won up to 1 mile 5. So again, that's a good combination: speed, stamina. One point is that the champ Galileo refused to be left out. He's in the pedigree as the dam sire.
Inevitably, yes.
Yeah, not gonna be left out. He's relatively young in dam sire terms, but he is found in the pedigree as the dam sire of Irish Guineas second Wren's Nest, Phoenix Stakes winner La Colina, and the St James's Palace Hope Letty Moore.
So not bad in that sphere either.
No.
Now, you sat on the fence when they asked you whether Dawn Approach was going to stay in the paper. I'm not going to take any of that. Will Dawn Approach stay the trip, and will he win the Derby?
I think he will stay the trip. I think Okavango will stay it better.
Well, there you are. We've sifted through the pedigrees, we've done the research, and Catherine Fiddler says Okavango will win the Derby. That doesn't mean Dawn Approach won't stay the trip.